sports club where they can go down there and do whatever it is they want. Brother, young sister, right here, what's their nationality? What's your nationality, man? They speak English, Spanish? Issachar, Spanish? Come here real quick, let me show you something. How you doing? My name is Joseph. What's your name, man? Daniel? What's your name? Miller? And y'all are Mexican, right? Yeah. So-called Mexicans. Do you have any history or any knowledge of what happened to the so-called Mexicans when they were in this land? What you got? They were pushed out. So I want to ask you a question. Do you think they were just, hey, come on over here, go this way. Come here, go that way. You think they were pushed out like that? Or were they pushed out violently? They were pushed out violently. Now, the question is, who pushed the so-called Mexicans out violently out of their own land that they were already in? The Americans, or white people, or European people, or conquistadores, or conquistadors. That's why Mexicans speak what? Spanish. That wasn't your language. You were speaking another language before they came. Now, what we just talked about, you basically knew it based off what? History, right? Do you believe that when we talked about history, that's in the Bible? It was actually prophesied in the scriptures? Can I read it to you? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28. And we're going to start at verse 15. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. Come on. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So when you read Deuteronomy 28 and 1, Moses is talking to the Israelites. At this point, we don't know who the Israelites are. But they're the Israelites, and this prophecy was being spoken to them. Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
So he told the Israelites, hermana, right here, he told the Israelites that, hey, if you don't hearken to the commandments, something is going to happen to you. Read.
And his statutes which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses...
Is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing. What do you say? It's a bad thing. So he just said, if you don't listen to me, all these curses, read,
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So these curses are going to consume you. Read.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So then he dropped one curse. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Where do we live at as a black and Hispanic people and a native people? Where are we mostly in the city? Are we in the best portions of the city? Or are we in the lower parts of the city? We're in the lower parts. So cursed shalt thou be in the city. Now, are we millionaires in the city? Or do we have buildings and we selling our products at a rapid rate? We might stand on the corner and sell oranges. Hell, the Mexicans plant the orange fields. But do you get the most that you're supposed to get out of it? Nah, what happens to it? It goes to your Wincos, it goes to your Fred Meyers. They make all the money off of it, right? But who's actually producing everything? Read.
Cursed shall be thy basket.
There it is. Cursed shall be thy basket.
And thy store.
And our stores will be cursed. How is it that your people, your tribe, because I'm going to break it down to you, we're the same people, we're just from different tribes. But we're going to keep proving it. How is it that your people are the smartest, the hardest worker, agriculture, Home Depot, carpentry, woodwork, anything you want to put your mind to, it's your people. Symmetrical. You can put a house together like that. You don't even have to go to anybody's schools. It's just something in you that you know how to make this square fit this square, put this here, put that there. Boom. You're building things. How is it that that's your people, but you don't reap all the benefits from it? Can you answer that? Let's see what the Bible says. Read it again.
Cursed shall be thy basket. And thy store.
Because cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. So anything we will put our hands to, or the Israelites will put their hands to, those curses would follow them so that they would know who they are. Drop down to verse 31. Read what you got.
Verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes.
Thine ox shall be slain. Now, we had oxes, so-called blacks, because we fled from Jerusalem and we fled deeper into Africa. But definitely, the Mexicans had oxes over here in this land. And it said, thy ox will be slain before thine eyes. Read.
And thou shalt not eat thereof.
This is how the natives and the Mexicans were eating, off of the buffalo. You can Google on your phone right now, white man standing on mound of buffaloes, or in front of. I think he's standing on it. They murdered all the livestock.
Right.
So we couldn't eat. You understand what I'm saying? That happened to the Mexicans, and what we're reading in the Bible is the prophecy that was going to happen to
Bring it out.
the Israelites. Read.
Thine ass shall be violently taken away.
What is an ass? Think about an ox, and then it said an ass. What is an ass? What else would we call an animal that's referred to as an ass? A donkey. Now, who normally uses donkeys? Who is donkeys closely related to? And my knowledge is Mexicans. You used it for labor, or a mule. You would put that burden on that mule and let him carry whatever it is that need to be carried. But the Bible said, thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes. Read it again.
Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away.
Thine ass shall be violently taken away
from before thy face.
You said they push you out of this land, right? Well, that's why you got all when you go into certain parts of California. Man, what is that area? Mojave Desert. You have donkeys just roaming around. Why? Because it was violently taken away from the people that occupied or inherited that land, and they just let the animals roam free. And what were they doing with your people? Read.
And shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies.
You see that? The Bible just told the Israelites that they have enemies. Now, the people that did that to you, would they be your friends or would they be your enemies? Somebody take your food. Somebody take your animals, somebody take your children, they will be considered what? Let's keep reading. Read.
And thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters.
Now wait a minute. Remember, we asked the question, did they do it violently? They didn't just push you off the land, they took your food. They took the things that were supposed to sustain you.
Right.
They didn't leave you alone then. It says, thy sons and thy daughters
shall be given unto another people.
Who did that? That happened with the conquistadors. Not only did they take them and give them to another people, they would take our children and use them as sports, dashing their head against stone. There's a book called Bordello de las Casas, Destruction of the Indies. It shows what they did to your tribal people, the so-called Mexicans.
Right.
And then they took my tribal people. The little black babies, the little nappy-headed niggas. And they used our babies as gator bait so they could walk around with alligator shoes and alligator wallets. Our people went through the same thing, just at different times. Your people were colonized. My people were enslaved. And then they told us we were two different people, niggas and wetbacks. And now we think that we're not the same. But we're here to tell you we are the same.
That's right.
These people that they're talking about in the Bible, that they're prophesying about, the Israelites, those are the so-called Mexicans. How do we know it? Because the prophecy that was put on them, that happened to your people. If I read another scripture, these scriptures right here, they fit my tribal people. So if it was prophesied to the Israelites, but it only happened to the blacks, Hispanics, and natives, what does that make us? If it was prophesied to the Israelites, but it only happened to the blacks, Hispanics, and natives, what does that make us? That makes us the Israelites.
That's right.
We are God's chosen people. Keep reading.
And thine eyes shall look and thou wilt longing for them all the day long.
Right now, they had people trying to come into this land and they called them immigrants or illegal aliens, Mexicans. What did they do? They kept them at the border. But then you had people from Palestine, and then you had people from Spain that flooded the country. People from Afghanistan into Chicago. A lot of Afghanis right here in Seattle or Tacoma, Washington. And they gave them grants, and they gave them houses, and they gave them money, and they gave them stores, and they gave them whatever they needed to sustain themselves. But we won't let a Mexican in this land. We won't let the people from South America that was already a part of America come into a land that was theirs. Why? Give me Genesis chapter 49. Let's get Issachar. What I'm showing you is the curses that was put on the Israelites. Those curses fit your tribe of people. So you're not Mexican. You're not Hispanic. you would be from the tribe of Issachar. Look right here. Mexicans. They call you Mexicans. The Bible would say you were from the tribe of Issachar. Are y'all familiar with the term Aztecs? Even before Aztecs, you had a history before that.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example.